Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed here, and we've returned back to the letter, and as you can see by the title, we're going to be going through all of the endings that you can find in Chapter 7. Not necessarily the case that it is Luke's chapter, or Luke's endings, although some of them could be stated as that, as some of them are bad endings of Luke's, but nonetheless, we're going to be going through this game, and unlike the previous videos I've done in other endings, when we get to the true ending, I'm going to put my face back on, my voice back on, but this time around, I'm going to let the voices of the characters do most of the talking. Yes, people, I do know that this game has voices, so stop complaining. But anyways, guys, let's get to it, and I shall see you all on the true ending of this game. So, relax and enjoy.
No, I'm not at the office!
I was just tending to the garden, sweetie.
Hey, I figured you could use the save. You looked like you weren't doing too hot back there. Do we need to call a doctor or something?
Oh no, I'll just be needing some fresh air, that's all. Some help getting out of here would be much appreciated.
Sure, that won't be a problem. I wanted to get away from this drama too anyway. Just... Hey, Zachary! Hey, Zach!
Becca, this is a real oh, hey, Miss Wright.
Hello, Zachary. I told you to call me Hannah. Did I not?
Yeah, you did. So this is what you called me for. We gonna get Hannah out of here?
That'd be great.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
Now, little pig. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
Why, you insolent!
Help me. I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
A dream. It must have been a dream. Fucking nightmares. Anna, why? Where have you been? We've been looking all over this place for you. Hello? If you don't answer, I'll have to hang up, Buttercup. What? The attic? What are you doing there? The servants haven't been sent to clean that place yet. Look, don't go anywhere. I do not want you breaking that head of yours trying to go down these stairs. Just wait for me, all right? I'm already on my way.
Hannah?
Welcome home, my prince. Welcome home.
No, I'm not at the office!
I was talking with Zachary, the photographer for Luxury Living.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
Now, little pig. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
Why, you insolent!
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool. How does dying alone feel, Ashton Frey?
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
A dream. It must have been a dream. Fucking nightmares. Hannah would kill me if she saw me in here like this. Probably say something scathing and witty like... You might as well shoot yourself in the liver, Lucille. Really now? She was such a nag. I miss her. I wonder how it is. Are you in here, Hannah? Can you hear me? How is it, huh? To die? It must have been dreadful, no? I can't imagine it. I very much don't want to. This is interesting. What in blazes? What's going on in the navel down here? If I knew this was here, I could have put it to good use. Maybe. Where are you? Show yourself!
You've come for me, my prince. I am so happy. You came home to us, and with us you will stay. Our lord, my prince.
Get your hands off me! What do you want? Please. Please, no more. Please. Oh, God. Please. Somebody help me.
No, I'm not at the office!
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
Now, little pig. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talked back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
Why, you insolent!
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Alone. Meddlesome fool. How does dying alone feel, Ashton Frey?
Hannah?
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. What do you think you're doing out here this late?
A dream. It must have been a dream. Fucking nightmares.
Are you awake? It feels like a terribly cruel dream, my prince. I do not even dare avert my eyes if I can. To do so, I'm afraid that you might be spirited away. You promised you would be here again, someday. We were afraid that you never would. We've been alone here, you see, in our home, our special place, waiting for you. After all this time, finally you've come. And now we'll all be together. Forever.
Anyway, where were we, Mint? We were talking about the cellar, right? What about it? Bloody hell, I need a fucking drink.
I think if anyone needs a drink here, Mr. Wright, that'd be me.
If you've been camping down here for who knows how long, I'm sure you've already taken enough alcohol from me, McCullough. With the nonsense you've been spouting, I bet you want to go back, huh?
I was telling the truth. Something's in this place. Something that brought us that letter. Oh, dear God, please don't let her get me. Don't let her get me. I still have so much left to live for. I want to get married. I want to have a daughter, adopt one if I have to, and call her Miracle. Please, please, please.
Sheesh, McCullough, don't tell me you're still drunk off my wine. I know you potato munchers can handle it, but have a little self-control.
No, you have to believe me. You have to get out of here.
Look, you're obviously still delirious. Bonus points, since you did good work with the house. Can't say the same for feathers here, though. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh? Now, little pig. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
Why, you insolent!
Help me. Please. I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool. Help me. Please. Please make it stop. Please. They're in my head. Screaming. It hurts so much. Please! Someone! Anyone! Help me!
What are you doing just standing there when she has Hannah?
Oh, what the bloody hell do you expect me to do?
Get your fucking arse in gear and do anything?
Yes, that's very helpful, McCullough. Telling me to get my arse in gear isn't gonna help solve shit here. This isn't some bloody action film where me charging in is going to save anyone. One stupid move from any of us, and Hannah might be dead because of it.
I know she looks like a scary fucker and all, but she's your wife, you gobshite. There must be something.
Will you not speak up for her? Will you not try to save your beloved wife?
Why? Will my words hold any sway? Who's to say you won't snap her neck the moment I take one step? Do you take me for an idiot?
I take you for a coward. Nothing but a spineless coward.
You all right there, Hannah? Were you hurt?
Are you alright? I wasn't too heavy, was I?
Well, a little bit. Not that I'm saying you're fat or anything.
You do not deserve what you have.
Mrs. Wright, look at me and take deep breaths. She doesn't have you anymore, all right?
How dare you! I don't care who you are, but how dare you touch Hannah! I want you out of my house! Out before I call the police and have you put away for the rest of your miserable life! And that goes for all of you!
You are telling me to get out of your house. You threatened to lock me up.
What's so funny? What are you laughing at? None of this is funny!
Oh, no different. No different. You're all the same. You can all suffer together.
What's going on?
Help! Please!
Help me. Oh my god. Please, somebody. Anybody. Who are you? Stay away. No. Stay away. No. Stay away. Stay away.
I'm not afraid of you, you spook. This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight.
No! She's here! You've got to let me out! She's gonna kill me! Someone! She's...
We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
I'm sorry.
Stay away from me!
Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood we share? This is your home. Don't you remember? You promised to return, to stay together with me, with us, with people no different from you.
What is she talking about, Luke? What does she mean?
Don't listen to her, she lies. I promised no such thing to anyone. Hannah, you're the one who bought this house. How should I know what she's babbling about? I never even wanted to be here in the first place.
Of course you still deny it. Have you truly forgotten? You haven't changed, I see. Still a deceiver.
She's lying!
You see, my love, nothing has changed. Still no difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes. Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
Careful, Luke.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
You! This is all your fault! If I'm dying to this bloody curse, I'm taking you down with me!
Luke, please put that knife away. This isn't going to solve anything.
If it weren't for you, for this letter, none of this would have happened!
Is your life all that matters to you? What about her? Doesn't she have the same problem? What about me, Luke? Do you even care?
Are you taking her side? You're also stuck in this nightmare, Hannah! That creature is out to get us, and you're still defending her!
I'm not defending anyone, Luke. I'm just trying to be reasonable when you're clearly not.
Oh, of course you're not. You're just the one who bought this bloody mansion to begin with. If I didn't know any better, you did this on purpose!
Why, no. Why would I ever do that? This was only meant to be an anniversary gift. For you. For us. For the family we're going to have.
Right! right, anniversary gift. Oh, here's your gift, darling. Oh, by the way, there's a curse included in that package. I hope that's all right. Are you really that eager to get rid of me, Hannah? Because if that's what you've been meaning to do all this time, you might as well just put a knife in my back while I'm...
Don't you dare, Luke. Don't you dare imply I've ever thought of you that way. And she's only trying to help us.
Oh, of course, by barging into our home. Are you really going to trust them to save your life? These peasants who brought this pox upon us.
You keep that rude mouth running, Whiskey, and see if any of us here will help you out of this place. It's this thing's fault! We should have gotten rid of this thing! We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got! There were children! Victims! All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them! Oh God, those poor souls! They were screaming and begging before she... This cursed thing has to go!
Give me that. See? Wasn't that easy? For fuck's sake, you people need to get your heads checked. How did you all make it this far in life with that kind of thinking? Well, you can all thank me later for this. And you! You may now show yourself off my property before I call the police on you. Well, well, what have we here? If I were any less sober, I'd say this is the beginning of a joke.
That's right, my love. Make them pay for all the wrong made to us.
Let's see. A photographer, a high school teacher, a real estate agent, an interior designer walk into a mansion. There would be a party in my own home tonight, I would have opened a bloody bottle or two. People these days, in my own home. Can you believe it? I feel so left out.
Pathetic.
And really, Daisy, even you, what would Kylie say?
Luke, this isn't what you're thinking. You have to listen to us. There's something going on here.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What about little Lily over there, then? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it?
Sir, please.
Oh, please, what?
Becca's right, sir. We need to get out of this place. You need to leave.
Tut, not a good enough excuse, darling. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh? Now, Feathers, manners, you're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
As you should be, my lord.
Listen, right, I need you to...
You broke into my house, and somehow, you expect me to listen like a good little boy. Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already. In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now, and you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
You know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
And he should be grateful. You're already gracious
Luke, no!
Hey, now you two, I'm sure we can all talk about this first.
Teach this loud a lesson.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the second time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game. Did the NCA send you to apprehend me? Or has somebody paid you off to kill me? Which one is it, Feathers? Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to beat the business end of this gun.
I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger. You have to believe me, right? You need to let us go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
Why, you insolent!
Help me. Please. Help me. Please. Please make it stop. Please. They're in my head. Screaming. It hurts so much. Please, someone, anyone, help me.
What are you doing just standing there when she has Hannah?
Oh, what the bloody hell do you expect me to do?
Get your fucking arse in gear and do anything?
Yes, that's very helpful, McCullough. Telling me to get my arse in gear isn't going to help solve shit here. This isn't some bloody action film where me charging in is going to save anyone. One stupid move from any of us, and Hannah might be dead because of it.
I know she looks like a scary fucker and all, but she's your wife, you gobshite. There must be something.
Will you not speak up for her? Will you not try to save your beloved wife?
Why? Will my words hold any sway? Who's to say you won't snap her neck the moment I take one step? Do you take me for an idiot?
I take you for a coward. Nothing but a spineless coward.
You all right there, Hannah? Were you hurt?
Are you all right? I wasn't too heavy, was I?
Well, a little bit. Not that I'm saying you're fat or anything.
You do not deserve what you have.
Mrs. Wright, look at me and take deep breaths. She doesn't have you anymore, all right?
How dare you! I don't care who you are, but how dare you touch Hannah! I want you out of my house! Out before I call the police and have you put away for the rest of your miserable life! And that goes for all of you!
You are telling me to get out of your house. You threatened to lock me up.
What's so funny? What are you laughing at? None of this is funny!
Oh, no different. No different. You're all the same. You can all suffer together.
What's going on?
Help! Please!
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away! No. Stay away! No. Stay away! Stay away! Stay away from me!
Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood we share? This is your home. Don't you remember? You promised to return, to stay together with me, with us, with people no different from you.
What is she talking about, Luke? What does she mean?
Don't listen to her, she lies. I promised no such thing to anyone. Hannah, you're the one who bought this house. How should I know what she's babbling about? I never even wanted to be here in the first place.
Of course you still deny it. Have you truly forgotten? You haven't changed, I see. Still a deceiver.
She's lying!
You see, my love, nothing has changed. Still no difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes. Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
Careful, Luke.
understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
You! All of you! This is all your fault! If I've died to this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me!
Luke, please put that knife away. This isn't going to solve anything.
Hey, now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, for this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened!
What about these people here? Don't they have the same problem? What about me, Luke? Do you even care?
Are you taking their side? You're also stuck in this nightmare, Hannah! That creature is out to get us, and you're still defending these people!
I'm not defending anyone, Luke. I'm just trying to be reasonable when you're clearly not.
Oh, of course you're not. You're just the one who bought this bloody mansion to begin with. If I didn't know any better, you did this on purpose!
Why, no. Why would I ever do that? This was only meant to be an anniversary gift. For you. For us. For the family we're going to have.
Right, anniversary gift. Oh, here's your gift, darling. Oh, by the way, there's a curse included in that package. I hope that's all right. Are you really that eager to get rid of me, Hannah? Because if that's what you've been meaning to do all this time, you might as well just put a knife in my back while I...
Marianne, you didn't have to. Please, I'll talk to my husband.
Why don't you just let her say what she wants? Do go on. Since that's what these peasants seem to do these days. Barge into your home, barge in on other people's business. No sense of decorum at all.
Keep talking about us like that and see if any of us here will keep you out of this place.
Rebecca, stop! All of you, stop this! Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper, we still would have ended up in this mess. Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Hey, hands off her, right?
Fuck off, Feathers. I have questions for your friend, and she better have the answers.
Luke, will you stop taking it out on every single person?
Your friend is hiding something, Daisy. What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something!
Ow! Please, sir. I know the paper's useless, okay? We should have gotten rid of this thing! We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got! No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything. I think...
You don't know what I've seen, Santos.
There were children! Vic victims! All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them. Oh God, those poor souls! They were screaming and begging before she...
Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died? My coworkers? The open house clients? None of them had seen it. Even Rose. And yet they're all dead. I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing. Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
Is that what the trip to BRC was for?
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you guys until I was certain. None of you believed me the first time. I had to find proof.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
I have to go with whiskey on this. Who knows how many has already seen this before you found it? This cursed thing has to go!
We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening. There's something else that...
This place.
What?
I mean, I just remembered something a friend told me. You know, stuff about ghosts or curses. You probably don't want to hear it.
No, it might be something. What about this place, Zach?
Remember what I told you the last time you and Ash visited? A few days ago?
You mean what Andrew told you? Those were just stories, Zach. It might not even help.
Belle, what are you...
Becca, it's this place.
What? You mean, like, burn this place down?
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value!
What? No! We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this!
Seriously, Luke, are you really more worried about that?
Buttercup, Marching, millions. It's gonna take years getting all that money back!
Well, you certainly won't be getting any of that money if you're dead. Really, Luke? Is that more important than your life?
Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
It's not only that. Think about it.
I think it's just like what the professor guy said. Just like that old story. This mansion and some other thing might be keeping her here. You know, something he wanted in life, but never got to have. Something like that.
Or maybe it's not something, Zachary.
No. You're all in on this, aren't you?
Are you people implying that my husband, that we should just...
Of course! Of fucking course!
Luke, that isn't what I...
Are you all going to stoop that low?
It's nothing like that, Ash. All we're saying is that maybe he might be able to do something about this.
Drop it, you guys. We're not leaving anyone here.
Give me that. See? Wasn't that easy? For fuck's sake, you people need to get your heads checked. How did you all make it this far in life with that kind of thinking? Well, you can all thank me later for this. You may now show yourselves out of my property before I call the police on you simpletons. Well, well, what have we here? If I were any less sober, I'd say this is the beginning of a joke.
That's right, my love. Make them pay for all the wrong made to us.
Let's see. A photographer, a high school teacher, a real estate agent, an interior designer walk into a mansion. Had I known there would be a party in my own home tonight, I would have opened a bloody bottle or two. People these days, in my own home. Can you believe it? I feel so left out.
Pathetic.
And really, Daisy, even you, what would Kylie say?
Luke, this isn't what you're thinking. You have to listen to us. There's something going on here.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What about little Lily over there, then? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is?
Sir, please.
Oh, please, what?
Becca's right, sir. We need to get out of this place. You need to leave.
Tut, not a good enough excuse, darling. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh? Now, Feathers, manners, you're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
As you should be, my lord.
Listen, right, I need you to...
You broke into my house, and somehow, you expect me to listen like a good little boy. Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already. In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now. And you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
You know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
And he should be grateful. You're already
Luke, no!
Hey, now you two, I'm sure we can all talk about this first.
Teach this loud a lesson.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the second time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game. Did the NCA send you to apprehend me? Or has somebody paid you off to kill me? Which one is it, Feathers? Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to meet the business end of this gun.
I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger. You have to believe me, right? You need to let us go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
Why, you insolent!
Luke, help me. Please. Help me. Please. Please make it stop. Please. They're in my head. Screaming. It hurts so much. Luke, help me, please.
Let go of her! Don't hurt her! Whatever it is you want! Just don't you dare hurt her! What do you want? Money? Is that it? I'll give you however much you want!
Luke, please make it stop. I want it to stop.
Just stop whatever it is you're doing to her! Can't you see she's hurting? Let go of her! Now! More than anything! So please, let her go! Are you alright, Hannah? Are you hurt?
We are fine, Luke. I'm sorry. Just give me a moment.
You deserve each other.
Look at me, Hannah. Look, I'm here. You're safe. I won't let her hurt you again. Do you understand? Just breathe. How dare you? I don't care who you are, but how dare you touch Hana! I want you out of my house! Out before I call the police and have you put away for the rest of your miserable life! And that goes for all of you!
You are telling me to get out of your house. You threatened to lock me up.
What's so funny? What are you laughing at? None of this is funny!
Oh, no different. No different. You're all the same. You can all suffer together.
What's going on?
Help! Please!
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away!
No. Stay away. No. Stay away. Stay away.
Stay away from me!
Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood we share? This is your home. Don't you remember? You promised to return, to stay together with me, with us, with people no different from you.
What is she talking about, Luke? What does she mean?
Don't listen to her, she lies! I promised no such thing to anyone. Hana, you're the one who bought this house. How should I know what she's babbling about? I never even wanted to be here in the first place.
Of course you still deny it. Have you truly forgotten? You haven't changed, I see. Still a deceiver.
She's lying!
You see, my love, nothing has changed. Still no difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes. Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
Careful, Luke.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
You. All of you! This is all your fault! If I'm dying to this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me!
Put that knife down, Lucille.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, for this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened!
And blaming everyone in this room isn't going to get us out of this place. Please put that knife down, darling. You might hurt yourself.
Are you taking their side? You're also stuck in this nightmare, Buttercup! What about the children? Aren't you the least bit worried about them? That creature is out to get us, and you're still defending these people!
I'm not defending anyone, Luke. I'm just trying to be reasonable when you're clearly not.
Oh, of course you're not. You're just the one who bought this bloody mansion to begin with. If I didn't know any better, you did this on purpose!
Why, no. Why would I ever do that? This was only meant to be an anniversary gift. For you. For us. For the family we're going to have.
Right, anniversary gift. Oh, here's your gift, darling. Oh, by the way, there's a curse included in that package. I hope that's all right. Are you really that eager to get rid of me, Hannah? Because if that's what you've been meaning to do all this time, you might as well just put a knife in my back while I...
Don't you dare, Luke. Don't you dare imply I've ever thought of you that way. Love, look at me. We've already talked about this. If we are still going to do this, it has to be the two of us. I will stay with you, but things are going to have to change if we want this to work. We can't keep doubting each other like this.
Not until we find a way out of here.
I'm sure we can. Maybe they know something we don't.
Keep talking about us like that and see if any of us here will keep you out of this place.
Rebecca, stop! All of you stop this! Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper, we still would have ended up in this mess. Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Hey, hands off her, right?
Fuck off, Feathers. I have questions for your friend, and she better have the answers.
Luke, will you stop taking it out on every single person?
Your friend is hiding something, Daisy. What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something!
Ow! Please, sir! I know the paper's useless, okay? We should have gotten rid of this thing! We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got! No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything. I think...
You don't know what I've seen, Santos.
There were children! Victims! All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them! Oh God, those poor souls! They were screaming and begging before she... Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died?
My coworkers, the open house clients, none of them had seen it. Even Rose. And yet they're all dead. I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing. Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
Is that what the trip to BRC was for?
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you guys until I was certain. None of you believed me the first time. I had to find proof.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
I have to go with whiskey on this. Who knows how many has already seen this before you found it? This cursed thing has to go!
We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening. There's something else that...
This place.
What?
I just remembered something a friend told me. You know, stuff about ghosts or curses. You probably don't want to hear it.
No, it might be something. What about this place, Zach?
Remember what I told you the last time you and Ash visited? A few days ago?
You mean what Andrew told you? Those were just stories, Zach. It might not even help.
Belle, what are you...
Becca, it's this place.
What? You mean, like, burn this place down?
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value!
What? No! We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this!
Seriously, Luke, are you really more worried about that?
Buttercup, marching, millions. It's gonna take years getting all that money back!
Well, you certainly won't be getting any of that money if you're dead. Really, Luke? Is that more important than your life?
Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
It's not only that. Think about it.
I think it's just like what the professor guy said. Just like that old story. This mansion and some other thing might be keeping her here. You know, something he wanted in life, but never got to have. Something like that.
Or maybe it's not something, Zachary.
No. You're all in on this, aren't you?
Are you people implying that my husband, that we should just...
Of course! Of fucking course!
Luke, that isn't what I...
Are you all going to stoop that low?
It's nothing like that, Ash. All we're saying is that maybe he might be able to do something about this.
Drop it, you guys. We're not leaving anyone here.
Luke, this isn't the time!
Well, what are you simpletons waiting for?
How many of these things do you keep in this house?
I always have a few bottles in the bedroom, you know, the parlor, and the dining room.
You have problems, man.
Well, isn't this the time to discuss them?
No, please. Help me. Help me, please.
So you've seen the bad endings, all three of them, and then we've gone through both variants of ending 4 and then ending 3 on its own, and now we're back here, and this is going to be the path to get to the true ending. So what we need are a few conditions. Number 1, we need only for Isabella, Zachary, and Rebecca to survive. Then we need to kill off Hannah and Marianne, and then afterwards Ashton, leaving only the 4 people of Isabella, Zachary, Rebecca, and Luke left within the scenario. But there's also a few things other as well. 2 little helpers. Number 1, we need to go into the mansion on chapter 7 with as much information about the curse as possible. So number 1, I will probably advise setting up so that Isabella goes to the cinema with the 3 people, but also ask to go and see the professor rather than the priest. That might not be a mandatory thing, but I think that is necessary in order to get more information about this whole epidemic known as the curse in itself. But this is what I do know, which is mandatory. So we have this option when we're in Zach's chapter. What we need to do is, rather than show the photos to Hannah, we need to show the photos to Ash, because this is how we're going to allow Zachary to get more information about the curse in itself. Ash will give me flack for this, he will. I can already hear what he's going to say about this the moment I bring it up. Hell, before he even sees anything I wager, the guy is a skeptic through and through, and it will take more than my accounts for him to even consider this. But when you've been there, seen something enough to raise the hairs at the back of your neck and leave you wanting to flee or hide, what he thinks is the least of my concerns. I'm no hero. That's a title best reserved for someone else. Still, if this will help him change his mind, it's worth a try. Isabella's gone and done the same thing, didn't she? Outside, the sun has yet to rise. I've still got a few hours before dawn. Good enough time to mull over how I'll go about this with him. Plenty of space to check if I'll get the same result if I redo the process again. The film processor hums back to life at my touch. The light switch gives out a soft click, and darkness embraces the small closet again.
Somehow those urban legends don't sound so silly now.
They do not, my friend. They absolutely do not. Sometimes I wish Ash would make himself easier to find. 24 messages, 13 phone calls, and 1 visit to his flat later. I still have no idea which rock in Lockspawn he went off to hide under again. The guy is essentially Patrick Star at times. The guy has his own place but refuses to stay in it. Has his own phone but doesn't answer any of his calls or give any indication he's gotten my messages. Most of the time he'll just show up at my front door, sometimes in the middle of the night, complaining how uncomfortable it is to sleep at the back of his Shirley, his car. As if the old couch in my flat is any better. Nothing new from him, though, but a bit frustrating really. There's a police precinct, of course. Then again, he's not there most of the time, either, and if there's also true for today, he's likely out on another stakeout. There's nothing much to do for me but to wait if that's the case.
Just hope I'm lucky enough today.
Quite. While Luxburn is a relatively peaceful city, boasting a low crime rate, its precinct stays abuzz with activity. As soon as I open the glass front doors, murmurs coming from the people waiting in the lobby welcome me. Officers can occasionally be scuffling in and out of the rooms, greeting civilians with a casual smile and a polite nod. Some, though, look a little worse for wear, like their receptionist, who looked at me with much disdain the moment I arrived. Thankfully, I won't have to deal with him today. Before I can even step in, Ash's voice, though low, comes from the hallway adjacent to the lobby.
Not even for just 1 minute?
No. The case was dismissed, remember?
You were the one handling that case.
If you want access to those records, you've got to ask Chief. I was taken off it before shit went to hell. Why do you even bother? Even Professor Clark seems to have given up on that.
Well, never mind, you won't understand.
Right. I know you owe Professor Clark a lot, but the right guy isn't just someone you mess with. They've got the money. Who knows what else gets swept under the rug with them involved.
That takes a special kind of ignorant not to know.
And a smart person to know which boundaries he can't cross. You're a bright guy, you'll figure it out. In any case, I've got to get going. Another missing person case on my hand. Benjamin on the front desk looks like he's about to maul someone after the fourth one yesterday. Murders, people missing, what a time to be alive. Man, I miss the old Luxburn.
You and me both. I'll see ya. Gonna go grab some lunch.
He notices me first as soon as he enters the lobby and pauses. Confusion briefly crosses his face until I fish out the phone from my pocket and wave it up. Frowning, he pulls his own mobile out, wordlessly fiddling with it for a few seconds before sighing heavily. There aren't any annoyance in him when he glances up though, only mild exasperation and what might be a hint of amusement.
Stop taking pointers from Isabella. This is gonna get old soon.
At least use your phone properly.
It's an alarm clock, a good note-taking device, a halfway decent camera, and maybe a music player too. If I'm being nice. What else do I need it for?
I don't know, keeping in contact maybe?
When he merely shrugs, I now struck a chord. He's far from holding a piece of technology in contempt, of course. Ash has always been nothing but practical from the start, and technology is useful. Only when he gets too focused on one thing like a case he's handling, he tends to forget there are other things around him. A little reminder and a nudge in the right direction can get him a long way.
I got an email on that social media site the girls roped us into joining.
That doesn't make any sense. Also, you've got an account before any of us had one.
For policing purposes? Anyway, why are you here? I thought you have something scheduled today. Or was that yesterday?
That was yesterday. Look, about that, there's something I want you to see.
He stops me with a tap on my shoulder, walks past me straight to the door, and gestures with his head towards that very erect receptionist when I raise an eyebrow and question.
Over lunch. I haven't eaten anything since last night, and Benjamin there doesn't really like loiterers around here.
Wordlessly I follow after him, but not after sending the poor guy behind a table an apologetic smile. As expected, he takes a seat in the furthest corner of the cafe, a good way from the window, but easily allows a view of who comes and goes. Secluded enough not to be disturbed by the lunch hour rush or be overheard by a curious bystander. If I don't know this is lunch he invited me to, I would automatically assume I got dragged into another stakeout. After years of knowing him though, this has simply become one of the many habits he has I've gotten used to. Food arrives minutes later. Ooh, a slice of their vegetarian quiche for me. Meanwhile, Ashton has opted for a cup of coffee, plus a graceful serving of...
You having cake for lunch?
Sugar's very good for getting a burst of energy. He shrugs and then proceeds to dig in without even a hint of remorse. Frankly, it's like seeing a child get his Christmas present early.
Don't tell Becca. I'll get an earful. It's just for today.
You should listen to her though. The kind of work you do, you'll need to eat something other than sweets. I don't want to see you drop dead in front of my apartment again.
I told you, just this once. Have you been hanging out with Becca lately? You're beginning to sound like her.
Nah, just for some recipes. But she has the right to worry, you know? It's like she's taking care of two kids. One bitches on sweets, while the other on cup noodles. At least Bella knows how to cook.
Hey, I can at least boil something.
Yeah, overboil.
Wait, that's easy, right? I mean, you just put water in and...
No, don't even think about it. You destroyed your own kitchen once by sticking a pressure cooker on it. I think my sister is a whole lot better than you. And this is coming from someone who has no other choice but to eat her cooking for some time.
To be fair, he genuinely appears offended at the last remark. Hate will be too strong for a word to describe him. So describe how Sis and him usually interact whenever they're in the same room. Though whatever appropriate word it is, I can say with most certainty that the feeling is mutual for both. Ash thinks she nags for too much, while Sis thinks he's a trouble magnet I should stay away from. They're both technically right on their assessments.
How's your sister, by the way? Still bullying white guys?
She's married to one now. Yeah, that's how you raise their friendships. And another thing as well with this true ending route is that it is preferable that all the characters of Isabella, Rebecca, and Zachary have high friendships.
You do know she's married to one now.
I hope she doesn't end up poisoning him with her cooking.
Pot calling the kettle black?
She can't be better than me.
Actually, she is now. They're planning to start a restaurant sometime in the future.
I was bedridden for days after eating some of the stuff she whipped up. And now you're letting her cook for other people?
You mean letting her cook? I think she can handle that herself.
Don't exaggerate. It was just for one day, and you're the one who refused to leave your apartment. You should come by, though. Sis gave birth a few days ago. Girl, I've only seen the pictures. But I might visit sometime after everything's settled down. Too many backlogs to go through for now.
No way in hell. She'll just find something to criticize again. Last time, it was Shirley.
He makes a show for being utterly mortified, though I'm quite sure he doesn't mean any of that. He might not say it straight out, but I'm pretty sure he's enjoying the small visits whenever he can. Something about it reminds him of his own family, sort of like making up for the one he never got back after his parents separated. Sore spot, that one topic. One thing he never ever brings up in any conversation. If he can help it, and I've never seen the need to be nosy. There are some wounds you're just not meant to open, and for both of us, the sentiment goes the same way.
As if you ain't already on a shit list. You're just afraid of her.
In your dreams, but I'll think about it. Can't just drop this thing at the moment.
His change in tone is subtle, but his aggravation over the matter hangs completely palpable in the air.
Still no closer?
The opposite, actually. There's been some slip-ups here and there. Careless mistakes, and let's just say I'm waiting for him to make another one. What about you? How are things on your end?
All piled up on top of the other. But I can manage. Still recovering from the expenses for the movie, so the surge in new projects helps. Well, there's this one thing.
Yes, the expression on his face grows more puzzled with each photo I spread on the table. And people would just say from the first instance that it's a very careful yet professional way of photoshopping an image to be distorted. If only that was the case. You can even look on the camera's raw footage to see like the original images that it's taken. So that is no way it's photoshopped. There's about 8 of them, all of it reprints of the same thing. Mrs. Wright's distorted head on the photos. The stairs too are distorted, and the wood frame on the right side of Hannah's head, literally her right side. Our left side, her right side. He takes a minute to go through each, eyeing the prints wearily. The furrow of his brow doesn't even ease as he gathers all of it into one pile and sets them in one neat stack in front of me with a heavy sigh.
Hannah Wright?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you...
The locket. She never takes it off. Evan's family heirloom.
I wouldn't even think about asking why or how he knows that. If he's investigated them, he'll likely have already dug up every unimaginable dirt on them, including family history.
Are you done with your work with them?
Yesterday, yeah. It's just a small feature for a magazine. Interviews, photos, standard stuff, nothing big. But see, here's the thing. I don't know how else to put this out there without sounding crazy, but there really is something odd with that place. Remember the letter?
And then he'll think we're going all insane. He drags in a breath, reaches up his nose and pinches it, like the action alone will help grant him all the patience in the world to continue this conversation.
Please tell me this isn't about that again.
No, Ash, you've got to listen this time.
I am listening, and I can't believe that just came out of your mouth. These are some blurred out photos, and that letter is just a stupid prank. I expected this from Isabella, not you. You're the photographer here. I don't see any need to get worked up over this.
I know what you mean, but will you hear me out first?
Ash leans back in his seat and doesn't say anything further. He gestures for me to continue with a wave of his hand, impatience clearly on his face. Any other person telling him this and he'll walk out without batting an eyelid. I suppose the only reason he's given me the benefit of the doubt is because we know each other.
Ash, I don't easily buy into these things as much as you do. Yesterday, though, behind Hana.
He blinks at that, his eyebrows lifting momentarily before settling them into a deep frown.
Hana? Since when were you on a first-name basis with the right missus?
Why does that even matter?
I thought you said this was just a gig.
His voice stays level, but the accusation in it is as clear as day. It hits a nerve in me somehow, more than the tone usually does. It's really just a gig. Patience can be a tough thing to summon at times, but we didn't get this far as friends if we let our own tempers be the lord of us.
Bro, it's really just another freelance work.
He eyes me skeptically, the same stare he reserves for people he interrogates. I've been on the receiving end of it before, early in our friendship. Years later, he's already got the unimpressed police look down pat.
Hey, there's nothing going on with me and Miss Hana. She was just being friendly. Insisted I call her by her first name. That's all.
I wasn't implying any of that. You're not that sort of guy.
I know, but let's just get that out of the way. The just-in-case elephant in the room scenario, aight? She's a married woman, Jesus!
Not with the image she presents in public.
No, but trust me, she ain't any of the things the tabloid writes about her.
Like I read any of those.
I know you don't, but keep it in mind, will you?
Yeah, keep that in mind, will you, Ashton?
Will do. Though I can't promise she'll get off scot-free if she's involved. Man, with how you're acting, it feels like I'm doing a solid for your girlfriend.
Cut that out, will you? And I'm not asking you to. Besides, what's currently going on here is more important.
All right, lay it in.
Recounting everything takes the better half of our lunch, but he manages to listen through the entire thing without a snide comment. A feat in itself, actually. At the end of it, Ash merely nods, takes his phone out, and excuses himself, off to a far corner of the cafe for some privacy, if he can even afford to have such in a place as public as this. He returns in a little while and hands me a small card.
I can't stop you if you're willing to believe in this crap. Give this guy a call. You're better off talking to him than me. He's at the public library now if you want to catch him there. He used to be my professor back in the university.
Oh, no, I don't think that's...
Go on. I already gave him a heads up.
That's why he went away.
You know I can't help you out, man.
He gives my arm a tap and walks off, mumbling about checking back how things are at the precinct. I didn't see his face when he leaves, but I know this is his own little way of helping out despite what he doesn't voice out. Of all the places, it never crossed my mind I'll end up wandering into the public library today, considering I rarely ever visited. Somehow there's always been this kind of disconnect between me and books in general. Sure, some of them held my attention in my youth during the brief times of the day I was left to my own thing with nothing to do. I went through the whole of Grant's collection, as a matter of fact. Read all of them twice or thrice even. 3 times even. But they never did hold it for long. Most of it never even sticks. Especially after I learned it's simply easier to do things myself if I want to learn stuff. I can relate, actually. This is not in the plan in the first place, though. But after Ashton went through the trouble to contact the professor, I can't just ignore it. Nothing but quiet greets me inside, though. Not the typical mum one would associate with a library, but one attuned to a hush parlour to an impending trouble. Or perhaps I'm just overthinking again. I really like to think I'm just thinking too much about this. But this is just the lack of sleep talking. Regardless, apart from the group of students murmuring in the corner somewhere, the place is free of its usual visitors. All while my footsteps echo in a manner unsettling enough to raise the hairs at the back of my neck. Much to my relief, it does not take me long to find him, being the only occupant in this side of the room. Professor, if I can pronounce this correctly, I'll be able to go somewhere. Professor Andrew Clark. I've never personally met the man, but Ash has spoken highly of him several times. In fact, he is Ash's go-to guy when something's troubling him with a case. My steps are unsure as I approach him. At any rate, He greets me with a warm smile like a grandson he hasn't seen in a long time.
Ashton's friend, I take it. Zachary. You'll have to forgive this old man if I don't get your name right.
Oh, no, you got it. It's Zach. Zachary Steele, Professor Clark.
He gestures at the empty seat across the table while he returns to his books. The next couple of minutes pass in relative silence as he continues to read and take notes from the piles he's accumulated on the table. Maybe I should have taken a book first before heading here. But before I can even get far into the idea, the professor clicks the book shut and sets it atop the stack next to him.
Ashton told me you were hoping to get answers from me. Although I'm not quite sure what I could share, I'll do my best to help.
Of course, there are a lot of things I want to ask. How did we get out of this mess in the first amongst them? Hundreds of concerns in my head. But in the presence of someone I barely knew, the thoughts weren't easily formed. He is nothing but patient, however, and with enough time to mull over, a question finally forms.
Do you believe in the paranormal, Professor?
It's supernatural, actually. Don't worry. It's a common mistake to make. But they really are two different things. The other one deals with what we can't explain at the moment, while the other are things we may not have an explanation to. Here.
He placed a couple of papers in front of me, the very same one he was writing on earlier. A study of Luxborn's supernatural culture, in a nutshell.
A friend of mine wrote that a few years ago. He took interest in the city after reading about the stories. I have to agree with him here. Even stories dealing with things you don't see with the naked eye can be rife with culture, and this city thrives on it. Just ask the locals.
Like ghosts, for example.
Among other things. The interpretation has changed over the years, though. Various religions, for example, have their own version. It might not always be a spirit now. It could be a memory, or an imprint, an echo, so to speak. Some are born from curses, even, out of great anger, hatred, or pain.
Or an amalgamation of all three.
There was this one story. Ah, here it is.
Another book is pulled out from the stack and placed open atop the papers, while he speaks with such passion that it makes me wonder if some part of him believes these to be true. It is interesting, though, even if I'm personally not a fan of such stories, and soon hours pass without my notice.
In the end, it asks for something to be sacrificed in order to destroy whatever anchors the wraith.
Wraith, yeah.
A sad tale, that one. But the simplest grudge can bring the ugliest, even in the kindest person, with some people none the wiser. Oh, I'm sorry. I just went on.
Nah, it's good. Are you familiar with the Ermengarde Mansion, though?
Of course. That goes without saying. Who hasn't heard of the local legend? In fact, you aren't the first one to ask me about that recently.
Was Isabella another one?
Although, word of the mouth is, someone has already bought it.
Yeah, the Wrights.
Ah, yeah. The Wright couple. It was a close friend who handled that sale.
So I heard. Well, don't think the house being bought by anyone would stop us from talking about it. What is it about the mansion, then?
I just want to ask what you think of it, sir.
We're going to need more than an afternoon for that, young man. You see, it's the kind that has changed over the years, passed down from one person to the next. Sometimes, it's the Lord William who haunts the place. There are versions where it's the lady of the house, but my favorite, a personal favorite, would have to be the ones that followed after the disappearance of the kind daughter.
Well, what about these then?
There's a moment of hesitation on my part before I pulled out Mrs. Wright's photos and lay them all in front of him. Unlike Ash, though, the professor inspects each print with great interest. That gives me some hope, at least.
When were these taken?
Just the other day. Do you think those are the same?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. There were certainly instances when the film would pick up what the human eyes weren't able to see.
Quite.
But then, it could also have been human error.
I didn't edit it in any way. You have my word on that, Professor. They all just came out like that.
Then, if it is what you're thinking, I'd strongly advise against doing something reckless and further tangling with them. Accounts about them may be riveting to you, but most of it often ends in an unpleasant manner.
What about those people in the house? If there is something in there, shouldn't they know? I'm sure they're already familiar with the legends, but...
Some people might deserve it, however.
Deserve what, sir?
You went off an inkling there. All of a sudden, the tenderness in the professor's eyes disappears, his face becoming unreadable. As though catching himself, he hastily clears his throat, gathers his books, and raises from his seat.
Professor?
I'm sorry. I just remembered something I neglected to do. You'll have to excuse me, Zachary.
All right. Do you need any help with that?
Don't let my looks fool you, son. I can still carry a few hundreds. I've been doing this for years. I'll see you some other time if you have any other questions.
Of course. It was nice knowing you, Professor.
Doesn't hear it, however. In a few short strides, he's out of the library, leaving me in every piece of this whole mess amidst the oppressive stillness. Despite the answers gained, more questions surfaced. If there's even a single way out of this, I hope we find it soon. Quite. Yep, and that is where we're going to part, and we're going to be going towards, actually, quite further in the game as we proceed to Chapter 7. But remember, there are a few things you need to remember. Hannah dead, Mary Ann dead, Isabella alive, Rebecca alive, Zachary alive, Ashton dead. It doesn't matter about Luke because he is the only one that really actually gets to suffer this in his own chapter in a way, but nonetheless, we're going to be going there all too soon.
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
For a moment I wonder if it had been me who had died and not her. After all, that can't be the only logical explanation as to why I hardly draw breath while she stands there, bloodstained as well. Of course, another logical explanation would be that I'm high and this is a really, really bad trip. Either reason doesn't suit me, though it can't be very well be the former. Even from down here, I can see the blood that stains her dress. Seeing that makes me feel as if my hands are covered in them once more. Warm and sticky, sweet and sickly.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
But let's be honest. Any explanation, any reason as to why a dead woman walks once more is a bad one to me. Especially when it's one I've killed. I mean, how even?
How can this be? You're...
Do you not find my presence desirable anymore, my love?
Nah. That creepy smile. What sort of sick joke is this?
Tell me what's wrong, my dear prince. Does my presence leave you so speechless?
She says with a smile on her face, tiff and forced, a dead body's part doesn't seem as malleable as they would be on a living human. She takes a step forward and her movements are stiff and choppy, like a corpse being forced into position despite the rigor mortis, like the corpse that she should be. I found my voice once more where she takes a careful step forward. Just before that thing approaching just makes my skin crawl. She stops to listen, fixated on my voice and on my words.
No, you're not. You're not supposed to be here. You can't be here. You're dead.
The "I killed you" is left unsaid, considering present company.
And I have returned for you. You don't have to do this. You can still have it all, Luke. Just please, don't you love me? We would have been so beautiful.
I can still hear her pleas as she begs me not to be rid of her. Not once have I forgotten this particular crime of my own. No matter how much I wash my hands, I can still see her blood on them. She's dead. This is an irrefractable fact, and no short of a devil would bring her back.
Why are you acting this way, my love? Does this not make you happy?
I feel like there's something lodged in my throat, and my heart feels like it's being sat on with how tightly my chest feels.
Of course I'm happy to see you again, Hannah. Of course I love you, Hannah. But how do I know you're... How do I know you're you, darling?
Whatever do you mean? You look perturbed. Why not come here? I can make you feel better.
If by act of some malevolent god she was back, I don't think she would take too kindly to what I had done to her. This certainly isn't what I would expect. Not the fixated gaze or those loving words. There is no accusation in them, no anger, when Hannah has every right to look at me so. My guilt is overshadowed by the oddity of these illogical circumstances.
No. Stay where you are. Stay back. Don't go near me. Don't touch me.
It is that rejection which turns her expression absolutely fearsome, and everything turns to complete another utter shite. Yes, her body stutters and shakes as if she's about to have a seizure until her vestige ripples and changes. Golden yellow hair is slowly stained with inky black, and her face melts into that of a woman, the maid from before, with a menacing expression on her face. Along with it is the shifting of the very ground we stand on. It's a slow thing, a whisper more than a bang as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan. Blood runs from the ceiling, crawls down the walls and stains the floor. It feels as if life itself is being sucked from the house slowly but surely. The beauty of this place is gone, with only the dead remains of a mansion left in its wake. I don't have to wonder if it's just the foyer that's becoming this nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the groaning of thunder and the lashings of rain and wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it has been replaced by a more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from nowhere and everywhere echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voices that neither belong to us nor are people who live here.
What's going on?
All throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out, a mirror to the horror creeping up in each of us. Who wouldn't be shocked? This is insane. Even Daisy, feisty woman that she is, trembles at the sight of it, clinging desperately to Lily and Steely, who stands protectively in front of the two. I suppose it only makes sense for the man to take on that role when their friend is gone. Something to hold on to when there seems to be no end in sight to this insanity. If anything, this only feels like it's the beginning of the end.
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away! No! Stay away!
Incorrect audio file.
No! Stay away! Stay away!
Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
I'm sorry.
Their screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while, a harsh, agonizing sound that goes on for what feels like forever. Until there's nothing but silence, a horrid smile, and pale hands reaching out to me, calling, beckoning, pleading. I'm terrified. I really am, like I should be. But I have never been one to truly stay afraid. I've long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in the corner doesn't keep me safe, and it will not keep me alive. Not like rage does. I've learned to use this burning hate inside of me to survive. There is no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood you shed. The very same one that now taints this house, along with many others.
Many others.
I did not do this, you You lie! I did nothing!
What of her then? Your wife, your sunshine. Doesn't her blood already
Your
stain
pride and
his
joy.
Stain your hands.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down.
Wrong audio file again. Then Hannah's really...
We're all in the same boat here.
Again, wrong audio file. You're the one who... You killed her. Your own wife?
She's lying!
The words sound so familiar. And look at their very bluish purple foreheads. Just a few days ago, I was sprouted the same ones as that vile woman who ruined everything. If it weren't for the Munter, that harlot. But it's no use. A seed has already been planted in their heads. Defending myself, especially against the likes of him, is pointless. Bloody hell. Even Daisy's now looking at me with the same revolting stares people have given me once they know of my dirt.
So it's true then? With Hannah? Hannah, Luke?
I don't know what she's talking about.
You know what she's talking about.
Are you that gullible, Daisy? Do you really believe the words of a murderer?
No, we don't believe the words of a murderer that you are, Luke.
She killed your friend over there.
No, you deny it. Pointing fingers, aren't we? You see, my love. No difference. No difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes. Their pleas,
their calls, their invitations.
Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
She, the monster, reaches out again. Her hands a gory, abhorrent sight, along with that smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct, stumbling back one step at a time in a desperate bid to be away from her. Anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I'm nothing like her. I need to get it out of this house, out of this country preferably. There's nothing for me here, not anyone, and not anymore. Nothing to keep tied to this place. With Hannah gone, shocking likely taken by this woman as well, nothing's left to bind me to this wretched city. I can leave, I can. My foot steps on something, sending me sliding on my back and flat on the floor. Beside me, a paper, familiar one, flutters down. It's this thing again, from the open house, though it feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat with what we recent events. It must have fallen from the detective in the commotion earlier, and with its owner having died a gruesome death, now it simply bears its equally grisly message for everyone in the room to see. Help me. Is this it? What they've been telling us? Why everything in my life has gone to shite? Because of some stupid old letter? An invitation indeed. One that I am not willing to accept. Not any time. From the top of the stairs the creature moves again, drawing my attention back to her. Her guilt remains slow and awkward. Her gulp remains slow and awkward as she walks forward. That smile never leaving her, but I don't. I won't give her the chance. I am not dying here. Adrenaline kicks in, and despite panicked gasps and worried glances from Daisy's friends, I pay them no mind as I reach the main door and, without warning, the door slams open, revealing not the mansion grounds like I am expecting. Before my mind can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my limbs, dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us even get to scream when darkness completely envelops us upon the doors closing.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
There's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding out, watching, waiting for every movement, using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Who knows what they'll do to me, now that they know what I've done. There's only 4 of us in the room, 3 of them, friends at that, and only me. I cannot trust these people not to turn on me. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the pleading looks Lily shoots my way while they all huddle in the corner behind Steely, I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. She's only human after all, it's never an excuse. Why? Even Hannah has her cunning, manipulative movements, though she does it much subtler than I. Why else would Lily show this letter to us that day if not to save herself? I guess that backfired on her now that she and her own friends, are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be livid. Everything I've built has fallen apart. My wife, my children, all because these people came into our lives. You would have been here regardless, dear Luke.
You 3, all of you, this is all your fault. If I'm dying to this bloody curse, I'm taking you all down with me.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down. We're all in the same boat here.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, or this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened. Hannah would still be...
Suddenly, Daisy steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand.
Don't you dare, Luke! Don't you dare put that blame on us!
Without batting an eye, glaring at me as if she might just rip my head off in this instance. Said knife slides uselessly under the table, out of my reach. I should have expected she's not the kind to submit even under threat. Oh, for all the man's height right now, all of us appear smaller, facing her anger.
Last I checked, we're not the one whose hands have been stained with his wife's own blood.
And what about your friend over there? Are you saying she is responsible for this mess? For the lives this sorting letter took? Dragging other people into her own problems just so she could save her little sorry self? You think I haven't seen that before? Getting real tired of your double standards, Daisy.
You know this curse is an entirely different issue from what you've done, Luke. Because, knowing you, I don't doubt that even without that blasted letter, you would have eventually...
Rebecca, stop! All of you stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She has always given me the impression of someone so meek from the moment I've met her, either from her inexperience or her station in life. She has never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent. If anything, that meltdown she had during the open house had only proven my assumptions, until now. Quietly, she puts herself between me and Daisy, cutting whatever scathing words we've yet to hurl at the other. The way she glares at me, it reminds me a little of the way my own mum would look at me, particularly when I've done something wrong. And it's not a stare she unused to showing. She has done this before, probably to a younger sibling. If she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids and not two mature adults, well, that's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us. For a long moment there's only silence in the room. Steely, the big oaf, doesn't even dare break it, merely watching the 3 of us behind 2 women who he towers over significantly. Too soft. Not that it matters when Lily starts speaking again, after some of the anger and tension has lifted from the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper,
Deep breath and exhale. Eventually closes her eyes and crease forming between her eyebrows while she grips her hand tightly in front of her.
We still would have ended up in this mess.
The atmosphere that descends to the room right after that. Admission is anything but pleasant. Can I call it that, an admission? It seems like from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friends and I, she appears to know more than she lets on. and how she makes herself appear smaller after dropping that bomb on us doesn't sit quite well with me. Impatience is something I don't have the luxury of having right now, bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she not telling us? Because from the looks of this, even her friends have no idea what she's talking about. I'm willing to wait. I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, waving the letter still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Luke, will you stop taking it out on every single person?
Your friend is hiding something, Daisy.
She struggles for a moment, but my hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty expressed across her features, especially with her eyes land on the damned paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers.
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something!
Ow! Please, sir. I know the paper's useless, okay? Those people they mentioned in the news lately, all those who died, my co-workers, the open house clients, none of them had seen it, even Rose. And yet they're all dead. I should know, sir. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing. Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening. There's something else that...
This place.
Steely has been quiet this entire time. That's the sound of him talking, however whispered it is, still manages to catch us all off guard. We all pause, turning to him with likely the same questions in our eyes.
What?
I just remembered something a friend told me. You know, stuff about ghosts or curses. You probably don't want to hear it.
No, it might be something. What about this place, Zach? Maybe it's also the reason why Ash went here.
There's still a moment of hesitation in him, but mention of their dead friend appears enough reason to spur him into speaking.
Remember what I told you the last time you and Ash visited? A few days ago?
A pause, while he allows Lily to remember. Soon enough, whatever it dawns on her, and her face lights up with something like hope. Of all things in this nightmare, hope. Her head snaps up and she reaches for Steely's arms to give it a squeeze. A reassurance or a confirmation? The meaning is lost even to Daisy, who glances at them baffled.
Bill, what are you... Becca, it's this place. Think about it.
Then they proceed to tell some ridiculous narrative about the supernatural. Stories about ghosts, legends, curses born out from great anger and pain, and whatever else people use to scare children. Not that I believe any of it, as if knowing will help. Bunch of loons, these people. Officially off their rockers to think I'll be stuck in this nightmare with people like them. What did I ever do to the world? Being born? Of course, it's all absurd until...
I think it's just like what the professor guy said. Just like that old story. This mansion and some other thing might be keeping her here. You know, something he wanted in life, but never got to have. Something like that.
Or maybe it's not something, Zachary.
Someone. The who doesn't have to be uttered out loud. There's only one person in this room who that woman calls after. Every single one of them has heard it. Bloody hell. It's in the reluctant shift in Daisy's eyes when they flicker over to me, though only briefly. She's also holding information of her own, or perhaps a realization she just had. Doesn't matter. I know when people have slowly started to turn on me. How do they think I lasted in this cutthroat world? Betray them before they do the same thing to you. Put a knife in their back before they can act. Kill or be killed. Survival in a nutshell. Why do they think I put Hannah out of a picture before she can cry for help and ruin everything? What now? Are they going to throw me at the creature, see what happens to save themselves? I am no fool.
No. You're all in on this, aren't you? Of course! Of fucking course!
Luke, that isn't what I...
My hands are already on the door, pushing it open before she finishes. Betrayal or not, this isn't anything new. They may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually, trapped in this nightmare. The first thing to do is put a distance between us, before a plan even hatches in their minds. There's 3 of them. Yes, you're at a numerical disadvantage, Luke. Only one of me. I have to get out of here, find an exit to this place, or a way to get rid of each of them. But karma, the damned thing, seems to be at work here, because when the door swings open I bow into the next room, there's only a reminder of the blood I've shed, of her, of them.
You don't have to do this. You can still have it all, Luke. Just please, don't you love me?
It is not only her sobs that I hear, but his, and hers, theirs. I'll never know now, will I, what kind of life I would have lived with them, if I would ever be a father better than my own. But I suppose I have my answer now. I killed them after all. It's their blood that stains my hand and this room.
So cute.
By my own doing, I've ended all of it, even before anything has begun. Now their blood drips from every wall, pulling at every inch of the floor, leaving a sorry mess at the hems of my pants with every step I take into the room. Like the cold, suffocating embrace of my sins, the dread from the sight creeps upon my limbs. Slow and unhurried, twisting and turning, up and up it goes, until nothing but a sharp, guttural cry escapes from my mouth and... a realization, it hits me like a gut punch, sending my knees buckling and the rest of me sprawling. Behind me, Daisy shouts, a worried cry running into the room and placing a comforting hand on my shoulder. Following after her are Lily and Steely, lingering by the doorway to that room. Hannah's little nursery, or at least it's supposed to be one, until things in this place have gone haywire. I can't even bring myself to look at it.
Are you alright? You vampot. Don't just run off like that. We don't know what's going on in this house.
But the sharp timbre always presents in her tone pales in comparison to every voice ringing in my ears, along with Hannah's and the distinct cry of babies somewhere. How many people have died here, I wonder? How many of them are still trapped in here? Because it isn't just that creature's murmurs and her pleas as I hear. It isn't just my wife's or the life she carried in her, but hundreds, thousands of them. Not that it matters now, when I know I've also doomed Hannah and my own children to this nightmare. Somehow out of everything, it's the thought of them trapped in here that sets me on the edge, sends my stomach churning and bile rising up my throat. Now slowly, a laughter. I also laughed back then, didn't I? The moment my eyes have seen what was to be of that room. Days left, shocked and asked if I'm happy. That bloke. I suppose I have a clear answer now. There's no happiness in this. Despite the chuckles and the giggles sprouting forth, there's only a hollow void.
I don't deserve them, Daisy! Any of them!
So we got 2 choices here. One of them leads to ending 2, and one of them leads to ending 1. Ending 1, of course, being the true ending to this chaos. But before we go into the true ending, we're going to go to ending 2. And that is, this isn't how it's supposed to end. This isn't how things are supposed to end. Not like this. Not for me. Not after everything I've built for myself. What kind of bullshit is this in the first place? That I'm doomed to die? Me? The great Luke Wright? After surviving a blank hole of a childhood, I'm going to die by a self-sacrificing So, I'm going to die being a self-sacrificing idiot. Like hell, there might not be happiness in this, but when has that stopped me before? When has killing someone did? When has dirtying my hands with the blood of people getting in my way did? Money, power, I want it all. And if it wants a life, then so be it. In the end, Hana and I Unborn are nothing but another addition to the list of people I've sacrificed to get what I want. This, them.
You don't need them.
That's right, they are nothing. I only need myself to survive. Kill or be killed, but it's the kind of world we live in. Ruthless, cruel, unforgiving. It's what Damien Red has taught me. It's what life has taught me. It's about time people like them learn. It's just a pity they have to go through it the hard way. They had the chance earlier. They'd given it up. It's only right that I take what they've abandoned for myself. Too soft. They are too soft. Even Daisy, for all the feisty attitude she brings with her. She merely gives me a baffled look when I push myself up on the floor, staring at me with only a suit of questions in her eyes as I slowly back away from the room. It doesn't even occur to them. Poor little things. Idiots.
Luke, what are you?
Yeah. Not until I'm already at the door and pushing it open, only then does dread and fear set in their faces, expressions I know too well. All from the people who have met their business end of my gun or knife, or both. Hana had something similar on her face when she croaked. Funny how in death we're all the same.
I'd really love to stay and chat with all of you. What with two lovely ladies here, but I'm afraid I have business to attend to. A shame, isn't it?
You bloody bastard!
Becky, he's going to... Her warning comes a little too late. The sound of the door slamming locking behind me cuts her off. Not like care from inside. I can already hear their panic, but I don't say. The mansion has calmed down, in fact. It seems to have done so for me, like a praise from a job well done. And maybe I do deserve it. Not many has the guts to deny 3 people of their lives in one go. The terror of their voices filtering through the door is all too entertaining to hear. When was the last time I've done such? Certainly not after my marriage with Hannah. But why should I waste time listening here? Like I've told them, I have things to do. I'm a busy man. Quickly I make a break for it, before one of them decides to bring the doors down. And sure enough, right when I reach the bottom of the stairs, the main door's almost an arm's reach. A crash echoes from upstairs, followed by the hurried footsteps and curses. Vivid, colourful ones, spewing one after another from their mouths. Their mothers would have been proud. Becky, where's he? He's gone, where?
That fucking ballbag! How dare he! If I get my hands on him!
Guys, he's already downstairs!
If only their feet are as fast as their mouths, I might have given them bonus points for trying. But alas, we may all end up in the same place after death, but getting there will never be the same for all of us. For me, this hellhole is definitely not where I've been snuffing it. Not where I'm snuffing it. And I will damn make sure of it. Even if it means sacrificing a few useless nitwits. Oh dear. Their fists pound hard against the door when they finally reach it. Pushing, pulling, trying to budge the bloody thing open with all their might. Yelling at the top of their lungs, begging even in a futile attempt to get me to open it. It's useless. However, for them, these doors won't open once locked without a key, and why should I let them? I'm not an idiot. A betrayal of this kind? Well, what did I tell about people stabbing you in the back once you turn around and you give them an opening? Only you matter, my lord. My love. You have no need for them. We have no need for them. I say never give them the chance. Let them rot. From the other side of the doorway, please continue until a laughter rings from the other side. Vile, menacing, and I can only feel relief that I'm not in there with them, left at the mercy of that woman. Soon the ground trembles and the air shifts with their screams, while a thick acrid smell filters from a room beyond. And all at once, that happens. A silence, deafening, still. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside, and with it is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly the sky begins to lighten before my eyes, darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxbourne's countryside. Nearby the trees sway and rustle with the breeze. A passing draught cold enough to make me shiver, the remains of the storm that has passed. In the distance I can hear the soft chirping of birds, while the rest of the world steers, wakes. Dawn at last, I am free.
You see, my love, no difference. No difference, you and I.
There's only one epilogue for this, and that is Individual Bad Luke Wright 1. A curious local finds the bodies within the mansion months later, and whispers quickly spread across Luxbourne City upon its discovery. Officers who investigated it have deemed the mystery of the Ermengarde Mansion's deaths as another tragedy brought upon the city by the Aslam Butcher. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets the Ermengarde Mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time those will finally be revealed, only the hollowed halls of the mansion know. To this day it stands silent. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the sky, some still claim hearing of voices within, of cries and wails that fill the nights and desperate calls of help for anyone who dares listen. As for the one who lives, Luke Wright immediately left the city before news has ever broken out. By the time anyone has caught wind of what happened in the mansion, he is already long gone. All of his bank accounts have been emptied, including all of his Luxbourne apartments, leaving not a single trace or clue where he might be hiding. The last anyone has seen of him was on a flight bound for Barcelona, Spain. No one has heard from him since. Even his people from Wright Enterprise, who have been left reeling for months with the absence of their CEO, publicly named as the assigned butcher by Luxbourne's authorities, the once affluent businessman has become one of the country's most wanted. However, up until now, he is yet to be found, as are the answers he has taken with his departure. Ending 2. But of course, that was not how it was supposed to end. We should just go and leave this mess, leaving Luke to his demise. One way to correct a mistake. Mistake. Is it even one? Isn't this what I want for myself? To have everything? Money, power, hell, even women. Don't I have that freedom now, and so much more? I married her for this. This has always been the plan had things. This has always been the plan had things not been derailed. Get rid of the dad. Marry the starry-eyed heiress. Acquire the company and make her disappear. Make it appear like a terrible accident. Clean, efficient. Yet somehow it feels wrong to use that word. I loved her, didn't I? This is a sin, more like. Perhaps one that deserves an equal punishment of death. A life of a life sort of deal. Payment for the countless other lives I've also ruined and ended to where I am. There used to be satisfaction in this, in getting what I want. Now I only feel remorse.
This is going to get me, no matter what I do, isn't it?
Luke, we can't stay here. We have to find a way out. We have to...
Go.
What? What are you talking about?
You heard me, Daisy. Go. Leave. Have you also gone deaf now?
Sir, is this about what we said? Forget about that. We're not leaving anyone here. Ash wouldn't want that.
As if I give a damn shite about him. He still annoys me to no ends. If anything, he should be the one thanking me. I'm saving his friends. I suppose I should make note of that. Something to keep in mind in case we're ever going to meet in the afterlife. Provided we end up in the same place. The crap I've done, I'll likely end up in the 7th level of hell. Funny how easy it is to think of these things, with your death looming over you. Or maybe it's simply because I'm getting old. Well, not that old, but it certainly feels like it. I've done a lot of horrible stuff in my lifetime. So maybe this one, I might as well do something good. Pushing myself off the floor is a struggle on its own, more from a metaphorical weight on my shoulders than the pain in my limbs or this headache. There's no backing out now, I suppose. Even if Daisy still doesn't quite understand what I mean, there she sits, looking up at me with nothing but worry. I wonder if in a different lifetime we would have become friends. Had I been born to a more decent family, or Damien Wright took me away from the slums before I even learnt how to use a knife.
Daisy, do fetch me one final drink, would you? There's a stash in that dresser beside you.
She quietly hands me one as I requested, but only after a look of protest flickers across her face. I look at anywhere but her, fixated on the colourful glass bottle she has just handed over to me, before I pop open the cork and take a swig, or rather a huge chug of the stuff. There's some delight when I feel a delightful burn in my back of my throat and realise that it isn't exactly wine that I've had in my hand. Whiskey. How quaint. How fitting. This explains where the rest of the alcohol is.
This isn't the time for some booze, Luke. We're still stuck in this bloody nightmare. A little sense of self-preservation from you would be really nice.
Such a nag. Though I didn't think Hannah would much appreciate me drinking in our room either, or at all, if she has anything to say about it. Probably say something scathing and witty like, "You might as well shoot yourself in the liver, Lucia. Really now?" Well, she could just tell me about it once we see each other again.
You, Steele, isn't it? Make sure your friends make it out of this place in one piece. That shouldn't be too hard for you, right?
Wait, what about you?
For all the weakness he displays, at least this man knows the right questions to ask. And that is exactly why it dawns on Daisy. Her concern quickly melted in an expression of utter horror. Any other day I would have laughed loudly at that. To think she cares. I'm almost touched.
What are you... Don't be ridiculous, you ball bag!
You're kidding, right? Look, Wright. Mr. Wright. There must be some other way.
This isn't going to solve anything, you numpty! You're just giving her what she...
Daisy, Rebecca, do me a favor and watch over Kylie for me. The Rugrat shouldn't be allowed more than one glass of parfait a day. Her father spoils her too much.
Why don't you do that yourself? I'm not her godparent, you are!
I have to stifle the giggles that threaten to spill uncontrollably. I'm not yet drunk, but I might as well be. Losing my mind, maybe.
I'm afraid I won't be able to. You're going to have to apologize to her for me as well. You see, Daisy, where I'm going, there's no coming back from.
I smile. Then I'm dousing the whole room with the remaining liqueur before a word escapes their mouth. They can only watch. I can tell they don't approve of this, but what can they do? It's my house, I can do whatever I want with it. It doesn't take too long for Steely to catch on. He's seen this ugly side of me more than anyone here. There's still reluctance in him, of course. The man remains soft even for people who has openly hated him. A hesitation in him, even as he's pulling the two women away from the room, quickly ushering them through the doors that should lead into the hallway.
But Luke, we can't...
Go on, Daisy. There's nothing left for you here.
The long moment of silence, of conflict and pain flashing fleetingly across her face. We never did get along much, Daisy and I. Though right now I like to think that she has come to care for a rotting bloke like me, but the way she might do it for another friend. Unable to meet my eyes, perhaps out of some uncalled for guilt. She simply reaches out for both my arm and gives it a light squeeze, and then, in a voice so low and whispered,
This is what you want.
No question, merely a statement of fact, one that deserves equal honesty. Funny, I've never been that honest sort.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We're sorry.
The look on Daisy's face before Steely closes the door behind them. Odd. There's no other word for it. It's the same one that she has given me, along with the same words. A gift. I considered them back then. I never understood the use of it. It's not like she didn't take care of me like a mother should. Alina Chandler did more than that. But seeing such a strikingly similar expression on Daisy, I understand it now. It was not for her misgivings as a mother. It's for all the what-ifs, could-haves, and should-haves. Things that will never be because it's far too late.
I'm sorry, too.
Under the room's low light, the amber liquid gleams tauntingly where it has landed. On the floor, on the bed, on the walls. On every dresser its splatter has reached. It's brighter, of course, when set alight, but I don't want for it to spread. If I'm to die here, this place also has to go, burned to the ground with every sin and horror it hides. I suppose this is the closest I can get to an atonement. Without a single glance back, I take the rest of my liqueur stash from the dresser with me and head inside of the door to Hannah's nursery. It opens to the study before, though, with how blanked up this place is, I'm not entirely sure what I'll find next. One thing's certain.
Somebody. Anyone. Help me. Help us. Luke, please. Our children.
Somewhere in the house, she waits. I allow her voice to lead me, following her cries and pleas. As I go and douse each room I pass with alcohol and set it ablaze. Not a comforting thing to hear, but certainly a better sound than an organized wail. Amidst the gore and the horror, it's the closest thing I can cling to, including the stray thoughts that have somehow chosen to surface. Short bursts of memories I've also been fond of, more than I care to admit, either out of fear or embarrassment.
How about Botany Bay, Luke? In Kent? It's gorgeous there.
I don't know, but don't you think it's a little too far from here? Remember, I still have a company to manage.
Kent is a gorgeous county.
Well, it won't always be that way, yes? And maybe we can also get a dog.
I suppose.
So, someday?
Someday, Buttercup. Someday.
In truth, a half-hearted response, spoken out of ignorance or some sort of complacency over the kind of life I assumed we'll have, or I'll have. She was never meant to live past the second year of marriage. She has no idea how tempting those paltry dreams of hers now. A little house by the beach, a dog, our children, her, and the vast expense of the sea before us. She was right. We would have been so beautiful. But as the whole of this place smoulders, so do those. When I run out of liqueur, I simply drop the bottle and take one off of many knocks I've stashed one. And there's no lack of it. The hard stuff, the shorts, the watered down kind, gifts from a distant relative, friends, so-called friends. You name it. I've made sure there's always one within reach. Hannah has called me out of this numerous times before, telling her I have a problem. I've always told her she doesn't know the half of it, before completely dismissing her concerns. Right now, however, I'll give everything to her. I'll give everything to hear her say that again, if only for the last time. With each room I pass and burn, the place becomes easier to navigate, as if it's slowly righting itself, returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon I'll finally find myself standing before the door to the attic. From a bedroom nearby, the strong odour of burning wood, cloth and varnish alike wafts from under the door, slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. Hopefully Steve is able to get his friends out of here before it's too late. The blaze is already starting earnest of every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping from the rooms I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. But there's one more place left, upstairs, where her cries echo from. My feet fall hard and heavy against the old steps, a steep, rickety thing that should have been fixed during the renovation. I suppose it's only fitting this is where I make this march, trapped in the highest point of this place, as the rest of the world burns to the ground with me. A final fall, to death, to her. For some reason, nothing about this scares me. No matter how much I've dreaded this kind of end in the past, there's only a calm, a stillness. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swooped the countryside. Even as I open the door and I am greeted not by Hannah's warm embrace, but her cold, chilling smile. But the reality of this, the terror, doesn't take hold and sink until my knees hit the floor and I hear a whisper in my ear. In a voice so familiar yet different, reverberating inside my head, in soft murmurs and sighs, while her arms come from behind to rest across my chest.
You came home to us.
Seeing Luke cry for the first time. I guess hoping to see Hannah here is already asking for far too much. Perhaps something I don't deserve even in death. Yet tears flow freely from my eyes, despite the disappointment. Nothing but lightness and air and the feeling of finally being released from the shackles that have scraped me raw. Because at the end of this road is her, and I think this is it. This is how I die. A gradual descent to the abyss as everything around us goes in flames. Behind me, the window blows out from the heat. But above the piercing sound of shattering glass is a rustling of trees against a light breeze. A passing draft that carries even into this room from outside. Cold enough to make me shiver, strong enough to fan the flames further. In the distance I can hear the soft chirping of birds, while the rest of the world steers, wakes. Ever so slowly, darkness gives way to the warm morning hues. The soft rays of the morning sun, all together spilling into the window, stirring a distant memory of a laughter and a tender voice I long to hear one last time. Thank you.
I did not do it for you.
Dawn at last. That's the lady of the house in the past. Dawn at last, and she is free. And the last two memory fragments. Put up on the fire, you've unlocked a new memory fragment. You've unlocked the final memory fragment. And she writes that in blood. Probably her own as well, as the maid stands behind her. Epilogue. Like the flames that engulfed the mansion that night, whispers quickly spread across Luxbon City after the incident. Officers who investigated it have deemed the tragedy of the Ermengarde Mansion as an accident. An unfortunate outcome of a long-rumoured domestic dispute between Luke and Hannah Wright, killing innocent lives. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old and those who know the truth, that is but a testament to the curse and the secrets of the Ermengarde Mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time those will finally be revealed, only the ashes of the now ruined mansion know. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the sky, some still claim hearing of voices where it once stood, of cries and wails that fill the nights and desperate calls of help for anyone who dares listen. As for those who remain, Zachary Steely decides to give the movie industry another try a year later. This time, he brings a film that tells of a Halloween experience under the shadow of the Ermengarde Mansion's curse. With help from Rebecca Giles and Isabella Santos on production, he is able to bring it to life 2 years later. But unlike his first foray into the indie scene, this one turns out to be a blockbuster hit, giving him whatever that word is, from several award-giving bodies. Although the film has brought him considerate success and opportunities, Zachary claims it'll be the last film he will be making, remarking that he merely wishes to retell the tale. A decision he has yet to change his mind, much to his fans' disappointment. After the clamour of the movie has died down, he quietly returns to his freelance photography business, living a simple life in the same old apartment, away from the spotlight. All the same time, he dedicates the film's success in honour of an unnamed friend. Determined to disclose the truth, Rebecca Giles writes a book detailing Luxburn City's true history. With help from Professor Andrew, she pieces together every omitted information from current accounts. Charlotte Ermengarde's role in the city's foundation and the truth behind the very woman who built it. This, in spite of Professor Stern's warnings against bringing those to light, Charlotte Ermengarde has always been referred by the people of Luxburn after all. And sure enough, upon publication, it creates a huge stir. Although considered a masterpiece by some, even becoming a bestseller, it's also met with harsh criticism from Luxburn's academic circles. Others believe it an attack to the city's way of life, outright condemning it. It doesn't take long for it to reach controversial status, and mere months after its release, the book becomes the subject of litigation. As a result, it has since been withdrawn from the shelves by the publisher. To date, Rebecca continues the effort to bring it back to the market, knowing its worth, a war that she seems to be winning in time. Doing it not for herself, but for the memory of a loved one whom the book has been dedicated to. Months after the incident, Isabella Santos has finally found the courage to pursue what she truly wants. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years, with their blessings, she quits her job at Bry Realty Corporation and takes the scholarship offered by the local university. Slowly she gains recognition, both in the local and international art scene, for her vivid depiction of death and suffering. Although continuously lauded for her talent, no one knows why she has chosen such a dark subject. She has kept mum about it throughout the years. Perhaps the closest answer the curious will get when she is asked is the slight shift of her eyes and the wistful looks that crosses her face. A quiet glance towards a painting of a young man in her studio. Her best known work, and strangely the only one from her collection with an honest portrayal of life. From the ashes. And it is only during those short, candid moments that she ever smiles again. Although now busy with their new lives after the curse, Isabel Santos, Rebecca Giles and Zachary Staley remain close friends. A bond that has only grown tighter throughout the years, but even after so long, Ashton Frey's loss is still a grief all of them carry. And on the same day as what became known as Ermengarde Mansion's tragedy to the public, they also make it a point to meet where he lies. Once a year, when they exchange stories and talk like the way they all used to, a shadow of what they were before the tragedy. Their way of coping with the sorrow that still looms over them. Though they never speak of it, will never each of them know that his death is a wound that may never heal, like a hole in one person's heart that will never be refilled. They can only carry on. And that, folks, is the true ending to the letter. And yes, as I said in my first ending that I saw in this game, which I believe was ending 3, we'll hear this on one more time before I share my final thoughts about this. Still amazed by the number of people who participated in making this game. For letter page 2, rather than saying help me, it will say feed me. Let's read this one more time. Dear you, if you're reading this, that means you've finished playing the game in one way or another, and we thank you for the time you've spent in playing the letter. This game is our passion project more than anything, and we sincerely hope we delivered in bringing you a one-of-a-kind visual novel experience. The letter is hopefully the first of many visual novels coming from us. If you like what we did with this game and you would like to support us, please consider donating to our Patreon account. You can also follow us on our social media to get latest updates. Our usual handle is Yangyang Mobile. Thank you so much for everything. Let's talk soon. Love from Yangyang Mobile team. Love heart. That's how the tale goes. So one thing before I'm going to give this playthrough a closure. 28 parts, for goodness sakes. This has probably been my longest Let's Play I've ever done on any game on my channel. So one thing that people might be asking for, and I'm going to say this already, is certain epilogues and how to unlock them. And also, as of 1.06 version on Steam, instead of just saying epilogue, 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 they actually have names under the backgrounds themselves. And also their variants. And the only thing that varies between each of these, so Rebecca variant 1, but Rebecca variant 2, Isabella variant 1, Isabella variant 2, is Ashton's friendship with both of these characters. If it's higher with Rebecca, for example, then it's probably going to be variant 1 or variant 2. If it's lower for Isabella, then it'll be the other, and vice versa. So myself, I've gotten most things in this game. Some things are left for a mystery in themselves. Ashton variant 1, not sure how to do that one. It could be something to do with the fact that you should keep Luke and Hannah together. Individual bad, there's one that I'm missing. But there could be other cases where, like, you're stuck on unlocking a certain scene, for example. Like, for example, all of these characters visiting Isabella, for example, when you get her third ending. But also Isabella Coma Insane, which is actually probably one of the hardest ones to get, simply because you need everyone dead, rather more or less. Everyone dead aside Isabella herself, who you got ending 3 with. And then we got friendship good, so we've got different characters along here. Like Luke Rebecca, Marianne Luke, Marianne Hannah, Zachary Hannah, Zachary Rebecca, Ashton Rebecca, Rebecca Isabella, Zachary Isabella, Marianne Isabella, Zachary Ashton, Ashton Isabella. And if all 4 characters have a positive outcome, then you get friendship positive. But also, on the contrary, you can also get one called friendship negative, which obviously means that everyone has to be below what they started with in their friendships. The only way you can really see that happening is if you get Isabella's third ending, because there's no other way to allow that to happen if Isabella isn't either dead or hospitalized. Because if Isabella lives, then there's no route for Zachary and Rebecca to have questions and to raise or decrease their friendship levels. Also, one thing to note as well is that I cannot for the fathom of my life figure out one of these romance endings. One of them is Marianne Luke variant 1, but the other one I have zero clue. You could say Luke Rebecca variant 1, but no, that one's over here. And then we got Ashton Isabella, obviously, Ashton Rebecca, obviously, Zachary Hannah, Marianne Luke. The only yearly relationship is Marianne Hannah. Marianne Luke Hannah, obviously. And all that as well. So, unless if people want me to do a kind of tutorial on how to get each of these CGs, even though I don't know how to get all of them myself. Well, most of them I can get, but then if you ask me down below, I will very happily do that for you, because I loved playing through this game. I loved reading throughout it. There's been very mixed views in the comments though, especially with the number of dislikes in some videos. Some people were very disappointed by the fact that I didn't put voice acting on, because I thought from the start of this game that I did know that there were voice acting. It's set on by default, and I thought that maybe almost all of the game would be voice acted anyway, so that's why I turned it off, just waiting for the moment, you know, just to have it all kick in there really with the voices. But it never came to a point where I felt like I need to turn them on, because actually when it came down to it, kind of like half the time you read out and half the time the characters spoke anyways. But there's also other points in the game where it needs to be fixed, where there's sound errors, grammatical mistakes, and all the small things like that. So if you want me to do like tutorials on how to get certain CGs like Isabella all alone, or Marianne Hana, or Luke Rebecca, or Zachary Hana, then feel free to put a comment down below. Or you must, well then again, friendship goods is self-explanatory. Just raise their friendships. Friendship bad is a bit more complicated, but it's okay and bad. But certain routes require more than just raising your friendship with one character, that intended character. You also have to decrease friendships. Let's say if you want, let's say Zachary and Hana, you would have to put Luke's friendship with Hana out of the equation for that romance ending to be possible, because by default I believe it would become to the case where it would be Luke Hana, as you would probably view, because they're partners, coupled, married. Only Yuri relationship, whereas two people of the same gender, right? So unless people want that, that's going to be the end of my Let's Play of the letter. Thank you so much to everyone who has watched my videos. It's been a blast of a time. And I know some people didn't like things just because sometimes I mispronounce words. That's not my fault. It's just how my brain works sometimes. I don't want it to be a way of thinking that I did it on purpose, because I don't mispronounce words on purpose. It just happens because I don't know how to pronounce that word. So I'll leave people to their own judgment on how they view that, but I think most people out there can see that it's not something that I do on purpose, but it's an accident on my behalf. So anyways, without spouting nonsense, this is going to be the end of the letter. I hope you've all enjoyed this Let's Play. I hope you have been on board with this exciting adventure of the letter. And from this, I am more than excited to see what Yangyang Mobile has on their mind for their next project, whether it's a visual novel or another game. As it says, we're probably making a few more visual novels. I'm going to be on board with that as well, like this one. Whether it's horror or not doesn't matter. I love their projects now. So thank you very much for watching, guys. This is the end of the letter, and we shall see each other's in the next game. Have a good day and take care of yourselves.